Hey everyone. So, one of my topics, I wanted to go live. I feel like I need to go live on YouTube. Based on, I have my new YouTube channel, and it's called Us and Sickle Cell. My Instagram is Ebony Ebony D, the letter D, Clean. So Ebony D Clean. Link is in the description, all that stuff. Um, so I have sickle cell. My YouTube channel is called Us and Sickle Cell. So it's basically our lives, us, our lives, family, friends, us, and sickle cell, me. I have sickle cell, and the sickle cell isn't just necessarily about me. It's about, you know, you gotta understand that your family and friends they go through it with you. They're affected as well with their disease based off how they interact with you and how you interact with them and communicate. With sickle cell, you cannot communicate when you're not feeling good, and it's really hard for people to understand you. That's where you see my title, being provoked or being understood. It was pretty much questions I had wanted to ask. What would you do? No, how are you supposed to act when you're being provoked? Not what would you do? What would I do? But how are you supposed to act or react to being provoked? If you're not on this live and watching it back, I want you to comment below. Yeah, I want y'all to comment below in the comments. Give a like, just to show that you're a part of the conversation, and um, subscribe. I say subscribe because if you subscribe, you'll get a notification when any other of these things come up like that. I am a random, spontaneous person based off my body. It's pretty much that way. It's sickle cell. A lot of people think that, you're controlling them, but if you think about it, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be understanding of what sickle cell is. Everybody, you might meet somebody. Oh yeah, I have sickle cell. Oh, I know somebody with sickle cell. So yeah, I know about it. When they don't know half, it's because you know somebody that have it. Were you around them when they were affected by it? Did you do anything to help with that? Did you know what I'm saying? Anything's anything that has to do with that. It's kind of like I don't even believe people anymore. It's not that I don't believe them. They gotta prove that they understand sickle cell, because you can be chilling with them and they could be like, "Oh yeah, I understand and I know what to do and I know the signs." They don't. As soon as you don't communicate with them, they acting like they run around with their head cut off. But if they had understood and they said they understand, then they would know the first thing about sickle cell is you can look in the dictionary. Under sickle cell, it has they cannot communicate, they cannot talk. So it's good to be understanding of other communication. In other ways to communicate, based off. Um, they could be looking you in the eye. They could give you a eye. You know what I'm saying? They could. There's people that don't hear yet they communicate. There's people that don't have arms and legs yet they communicate. So you know what I'm saying? It's the effort that you put into it. If you really want them to communicate with you, then you'll communicate with them and you'll respect their communication. You cannot get mad at somebody. No, you cannot get mad at a person with sickle cell and they're not communicating correctly. We're not designed to. But if you're paying attention, if you really want them to communicate, you'll think of things. Hey, blink. I know it sounds funny. I know it sounds weird and childish or whatever, but it's important. It's that important. I mean, it's just kind of like a baby, but not even because sometimes a baby cries when they need something. For instance, in my case, my daughter, she was so cool, so just the girl did not cry. She'll smile and all that stuff. So it was kind of like we just had to know. Oh, did she? Is it around that time? Did she eat? Oh, let me change her diaper. Let me check. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And so it's like she's an image of me, based off. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people have to try to learn to communicate with me, and they had to learn to communicate with her because she didn't cry. She wasn't a crying baby. She came, she even in the hospital, she came straight home. She was not, she didn't cry. She didn't cry in the hospital. The nurses loved her. She was easy. She slept most of the time, but if she was, you could wake her, and she was alert and stuff like that. And that's the understanding part. Don't. This is the only reason why I'm doing YouTube because if enough people understood me, I don't think I would have even had done YouTube. And I feel like it's sad that you can be around your friends and your family and they not understand you, but as soon as you get around other people that don't know nothing about you, ain't heard your story, don't know nothing, but these people understand you. To me, that hurts. That can hurt your heart, cause you know having sickle cell, you want to be, you like to keep yourself around being safe and stuff like that. And what's more safe than your family? That's what's supposed to be safe. No place like home. I don't know. Or maybe it's, how in the Bible they say the world's coming to the end with all these bad things and this stuff just ain't right. It just don't make sense anymore. And everybody just running around with their head cut off. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, they're not soothing themselves. They're not self-soothing themselves. You know what I mean? They going to bad things to to soothe them. And Trump's president. I'm sorry, I don't judge, but I'm just saying for the fact that he is. I'm just saying like it got to be, an end coming soon. I'm just saying. It don't make sense, right? Have we ever thought that he would be, or just a personality person like that? He don't care, but y'all want him to be there because y'all entertained by the man. So is it entertainment or a livelihood? That's what we have TV for. That's what we have our phone and electronics for. That's what we have, you know, sports and cooking and hobbies and stuff for to entertain us. Not getting somebody that's controlling our livelihood to be like, oh, I like him because he entertains me the best, the most. Like, come on, y'all. And then y'all thought he was gonna change. That's like, oh, I'm gonna get with him. He may not be good for me, but I'm gonna change him. You know what I'm saying? Can't always change. It's not always true. When if somebody had those intentions about you, and then you found out about it, then now, would you change? Would you be like, oh, he could change me or something like that? No. That provoked thing. Yeah, I was just about to share a what is it? A flaw of mine. I was on Instagram and I seen a lot of people posting of their flaws and insecurities. It was not an insecurity of mine, but it is a flaw that I have. Yeah, I want to say everybody has anger issues based off everybody don't know how to handle it. Is that fair to say? I don't know. That's just me. But anyways, and I don't know. You know, it's like when you're being provoked, half the time you don't even know you're being provoked, so you're biting back and not even knowing that it was the game. You know, so like because in the end, when you're being provoked, right? In the end of it, you're the one that did bad, or you're the one that bit back. So at the end of the day, it's your fault, not the person that provoked you based off you should be able to control your own actions. So that's why I need to know how to deal with being provoked. Cause I ain't gonna say it ain't gonna never happen again if I was to know how to deal with it. But now, to me, I would want to. I like to know. I like to, you know, uh, rebuild and learn myself and be self-taught and what's the other word when you fix yourself? Yeah, but being understood, man. It's how everybody's trying to be understood. Period. Without any illnesses or anything like that. So when you have an illness, and I'm not just saying any illness, when you have an illness like sickle cell, when you can't even communicate, when that's the most important thing is to communicate, to have some understanding, it's you, it's not something that you can ace the first, second time. I'm 31. There's people that's still being misunderstood to this day. You know what I'm saying? Provoked. You know, being taken advantage of. I feel like a lot of people may not want to admit it, but to me, I feel like the reason why nobody knows about sickle cell, the reason why nobody knows about our triggers and how we get sick and this and that, is because I think that it could be taken advantage of in the wrong hands, and that's why y'all. I think that's why y'all don't know. Another reason is y'all think that we're controlling you. I'm still like, I don't get it. I don't get it. You sit here and you see me going through this stuff, being controlled by my own body, not feeling good, can't do this, can't do that yet. You know what I mean? You, you see these things with your eyeballs, feelings and all, yet you still may think that the person is controlling you. I will never understand that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because if that's the fact, then y'all should say um, people with cancer. Because as I do my research on sickle cell, they're starting to say that sickle cell is a little bit, I say I mean, it's number two on the list, but only because we're not dying as fast or dying as, or the same way as cancer. And there's a cure for cancer, I think, because people be having these comeback stories. So, their treatments and stuff like that. With sickle cell, you can go into a crisis, right? And you never know if you're going to come out of it. And the only reason why is because, oh, and you can, yeah, you never know if you're going to come back. You don't know if, you know, at the end of your crisis, if you're going to survive it. You never know. Each crisis, no matter if it's really bad or not as bad, you don't know if you're going to make it because you don't have the control of your pain and how long you're going to be in pain. You can be in pain for so long, but it could be mild and you could be okay. But the body may not be able to handle that, and then it has, you know what I'm saying? Just like water. When you fill the water, your cup up with, and it's trying to hold as much as it can, and it can't hold no more. The body shuts down, and that's the end. So, and that's based off. It could be you could be feeling something one time. You take your you feeling it, whatever, you feeling your hurts, the sickle cell pain, right? You go to take your medicine, and or even around the clock, but you don't know if it's gonna get worser, and you don't know how much your body can take before it shuts down. You might not make it to the hospital, or you make it to the hospital, they give you something, and it might not work, and that's when you get some physicians and nurses that may think that you like the drug or whatever, right? So they feel like, it's coming out of their pockets. You know what I'm saying? Like they giving you the shirt off their back. When at the end of the day, this is a hospital and we're supposed to be making sure that we're taken care of. It's a liability for if we was to leave and y'all write us off that we okay and then we die, that's a lawsuit on y'all. Or if anything happened, that's a lawsuit on them. And to be honest, you could tell if somebody's like faking or not. All they gotta do is draw your blood. We want you to draw our blood. Okay? So we know how bad it is. We may not even know how bad it is. But them test results gonna show how bad it is. And okay, you may feel better, they might release you and go home, but we have to deal with the sickle cells that's been off, moving all around our bones and stuff, and not all the cells get flushed out, and they sit there on our joints, wherever, you know what I'm saying, and they sit there and they don't get flushed out, and then they start deteriorating the bone. Now that's what I have. I have the vascular necrosis. It's already done its part. I've had like hips hip surgeries. I had two hip surgeries, but let's see, one, two, two on one side and two on the other, then shoulder, and I still got to get another hip replacement, or probably two, based off one because I have a hip replacement and it only lasts. They say it only lasts 3 to 5 years, and it's been past that. So yeah, and then my other hip, they wanted to do my shoulder. So what happens when it deteriorates the bone and it gets stuck in the bone? It you lose blood. You lose the blood flow of it. So what they did was where the damaged bone is, they wanted to drill holes to see if the blood will flow back into that, instead of just saying that, oh man, It's halfway damaged, but it's not. But we just gonna get rid of it all and just put a replacement. They want to try to save it as long as they can. They don't want you to have these replacements because they only last for so long, and it's not bone. You know what I'm saying? It's not yours, and so you hope that your body takes it and accepts it. You know, and hopefully, and there again, hopefully you don't come out of that surgery room in a crisis, because you come out in a crisis after you just had a major surgery like that. Yeah. So that's why we call ourselves warriors and all these things like that. We still put a smile on our face. We have to stay positive. We have to stay happy. And if the people around us don't make us happy and keep us happy and stress free, can become mad, you know? Because, but I feel like, why are you being mad? That means you're not being understanding and you're not trying to keep me alive. And why wouldn't you want to be stress free? Why wouldn't you want to be happy? Be happy with me. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and so we may cut y'all out of our lives and love you from a distance, which is what I do. I may love people from a distance because I'll be damned. And I have a child too. I sacrificed with mine. And I gave one up to God. I sacrificed my um, what I wanted and gave her back to God. I had that conversation with God when she was leaving. When we could have brought her home, but why bring her home and have her suffer? I'm already suffering. Why we want more people to suffer? We don't want no more people to suffer. So yeah, I kept her at the hospital, and then eventually she left, and I told her it was okay. Mommy and Daddy loves you, and we'll be okay. I knew we was gonna be okay. And look at God. I can't have no more kids, and I had my baby girl. And look at this, yo. When I when they said the doctors said when I was when well had my surgery. I had to have my surgery for my shoulder. I think it was my shoulder. No, my hip. And they did not say they didn't show no signs of pregnancy, whatever. I didn't feel pregnant. Excuse me. And she made it through that whole surgery. And that was, let me see, that was March, and she was born in October. I found out in June that I was pregnant. So, yeah. So she still survived and stuff. And then they told the doctors, like, as I'm going through my pregnancy journey with my daughter, Jasmine, all the doctors, they looking at my tests and stuff. They sending it to all these other doctors and stuff like that. And I'm sitting here like, okay, what's going on? Or, you know? So they all happy and stuff, and they like, this, you are the healthiest you've ever been in your entire life. And my sickle cell doctor, hematology doctor, um, from when I was younger, pediatrics, he came and told me this. And I was like, wow, I believed him. I believed him based off how I felt, though, but, you know, I believed him. It was just some other people, when you get new nurses and no, when you get new doctors, some of them may not understand or whatever, so they never been around it or things like that, or don't have too many clients or whatever that's like that. or they haven't experienced anything like that. So they're like, you know, and want to do more research and stuff. Like they wanted to research on my daughter Laurel that passed, based off she was the smallest baby in Sacramento, Kaiser Morris, Sacramento. She was the smallest. She was 8 inches, palm of my hand, 8 inches, and 1 ounce. 8 inches, 1 ounce. Yeah, and she was born at 28 weeks, and we both survived. And then she passed at 8 months. She would have, if she would have, when you're, I guess when you're born, you have holes in your heart, and then eventually, as you get older or whatever, the holes in your heart fill up. So they thought that was gonna happen, and it didn't. Oh, the holes in, there were holes in her lungs, not her heart. My bad. I'm sorry. Uh, yeah, 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 yeah. That. So my faith with my daughter, I was like, I'm having her. It showed all signs that I shouldn't have, but I just knew I felt so good, and I prayed for my baby. It was crazy. It's the whole pregnancy, and I'm praying, right? I'm just talking to God randomly. Sometimes just wake up and just start talking to him like, God, I really want you, or can you please bless her with those eyes? It was like my mother-in-law's eyes, um, or my lips, or this her personality, his person, little stuff like that. And let me tell you, ever since I had my daughter and every last blessing came true, I was scared. I was so careful what I prayed for. He answered everything, everything. And then at that, because I have sickle cell, you usually stay in the hospital a week or so, whatever. And I prayed to get out right after. Do you know when I tell you what sickle cell person that you know really goes home? They was ready to take. They said I was so fine I could have left that day. Right after surgery, I was fine. I'm all walking and stuff. And they like, Ebony, what are you doing? I'm like, what? Can I run? I feel like dancing. Look, I was doing all that. And they was like, you need to sit down. You need to sit down. You gonna start feeling the pain. I was like, no, I'm not. Man, they ain't never seen it before. They ain't never seen it before. So, you know, those is my testimonies. I love it. I didn't feel good, y'all. I know my hair is a mess and stuff. I had a sickle cell crisis last night. It was not good. But I sure the hell wasn't going to the hospital. I don't know. I was, but then I wasn't. But then I was. Nobody likes to be in the hospital by themselves, especially if someone else was the cause of the hurt. You feel some type of way, you know? Like, dang, you provoking a girl with sickle cell to potentially be sick. I will never understand that. And then, who knows if you was to even go take her to the hospital or be in the hospital with her. That part. Or just anyway, in general. So, that's why I did feel like I had to say, I had to get on here. And I ain't to ask those questions that I had asked earlier in the video. Because that was important to me. Even though the intentions was to do such, I still want, it's just driving me crazy how people is really just like I'm controlling them. I'm trying to control them when they're not even looking at the it's bigger than that. It ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm like, what about me? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the one that's in the body. I'm the one that's going through the hurt. You ever think that I was being controlled by it? So don't be mad at me. Be mad at sickle cell. Just like I get mad at sickle cell, y'all should get mad at sickle cell too. Not the person with sickle cell. Okay? I challenge anyone that knows somebody with sickle cell to keep them happy and to keep trying to figure out ways to help them. Don't quit. You know why I say don't quit? Because the person with sickle cell, they have to keep figuring it out. They may not even be in pain at that time, but it'll come to them and be like, "Oh yeah, um, I know I was sick that time. What helped?" Or what could help next time because that didn't help this time. And what's so crazy about sickle cells, because it's so, uncontrolled, spontaneous, just, do what it wanna, you will work this time may not work this time. You can have 5 things on your list that you thought of, and none of them will work. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the sickle cell people, they don't like to tell people that they're sick. You know why? Because as they're trying to figure out, things that will help them on that list, it may disappoint them, and they already feeling some type of way because it didn't. They weren't successful at it. So when we're asking somebody to help us, or we're telling someone that we don't feel good, we expect y'all to not feel like you're not good enough because your plans did not work. Your ideas did not work. All that means is keep those same plans for next time. They may work next time. Or just keep trying to figure something out. That's, we you quit, I quit, then I'm gone. That's what we gonna do. That's what you know what I'm saying. Like, let's think about this. It's very important. Like right now, I'm sick. Look at my eyes. You see that? You see the white part is supposed to be white, but it's yellow. That's called jaundice. That's a side effect in sickle cell. So a lot of us don't like to look at y'all in your eyes when we're talking to you because you can see it. A lot of people be like, "Oh, she's sick. We ain't gonna make plans. She need to go lay down and go. You know what I'm saying? Go recuperate." But they don't know that how much we can take, how much we can endure, or don't cancel don't cancel based off your idea or whatever that you had planned may keep our mind off the pain. You know, like y'all got to think that way too. Cause sitting there, not doing anything, it's not like it's a cold and there's nothing you can do but allow the cold to work. With sickle cell, you gotta take your mind off the pain so you don't create more pain. You know what I'm saying? So telling somebody to sit there and all that don't work all the time. But taking your mind off of it, that's why you see probably a lot of sickle cell people that are multitasking, or their attention is here and there and there, you know what I'm saying? Or they may have a whole bunch of things going on, right? You know what I'm saying? That's why. But I don't know if there's a sickle cell code or something, because growing up, I always felt alone, that I was the only one with sickle cell, and it was just me. I didn't have support like that with sickle cell. You know, I was pretty much taught to learn how to be normal. And what is normal? You know, I'm getting in trouble for not being normal. I'm getting in trouble for being me. I'm not being accepted because I have sickle cell and they don't understand or they just don't want to deal with it or be controlled by it. You know? Alright, y'all. So, yeah, do some comments down there, okay? Um, I'm trying to learn how to film while I'm sick. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know. Because the reason why it is because I tried to a little bit and I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to talk about. No, it ain't. It was, my mind was blank. That's what it was. I couldn't think of what to talk about. I couldn't think of a topic. I just was like, I, I, you know? Like, so maybe if someone is with me while I I'm in a crisis or I don't feel good and I can interact and they interact with me so then you can see the effects of sickle cell and how it affects us and the other person. Remember, my channel is called Us and Sickle Cell. So it's not just about me being affected by this. It's the person around me or the person that's dealing with it and me. So, and plus, I didn't want it to just be about sickle cell as well, because my life doesn't evolve around sickle cell. You know, I ain't gonna sit up here and try to get views by making myself sick and going to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? I've come a long way and had a team. I built my team up to where, you know, I can be comfortable enough to be in a crisis at home and be okay. You know, my team was there, able to communicate and deal with it and things like that. It has changed. I can't lie about that. Um, it is what it is, I guess. That's why you be hearing people that they be saying, that's why you be hearing sickle cell people, they be talking about, I need a team, I need a new team. The team changes all the time. The team don't even know if they still gonna be the team, you know? They may be around and think they're part of the team. They not. They just there to probably take their mind off of it. But they probably good for that, but they not necessarily team material that could deal with it and stuff like that. They not even know. Like you could call somebody and not tell them that you are sick, but you know that they'll take your mind off the pain. You could be one of them, but not necessarily be on the team because you don't know how to handle being on the team of a person with sickle cell and dealing with sickle cell. So yeah, that's it for now. I will be scheduling another live. Now, just because I know how this works and stuff like that. Um, so subscribe, comment, share, like, and support. Share the awareness of sickle cell. I told you a little bit about it. So get the word out, y'all. I'm not even 100%. I just did all that. Just saying. All right, y'all.